Welcome to another video. My name is Tanner Planis, and a couple of years ago, I decided to give up the normal dropshipping model and instead replace what would be typically your supplier with instead a digital product. And this is a new online business model I call digital dropshipping, and it's one that is paying me thousands of dollars every single day on stores just like this one right here. And the best parts of this online business model is when I make a sale on a store like that one, I don't have to ship anything. The order automatically gets fulfilled, the customer receives the product, and I don't have to pay a supplier. And right now in this video, I'm going to teach you how to run ads for a digital product dropshipping store on Shopify. So let's hop onto my computer and get into all the good stuff. The very first thing we need to do together here as part of this strategy is to set up your account. And for me personally, my favorite platform to run ads for digital products on is Meta Ads. So today I'm going to be teaching you my $0 to $400 per day strategy. And while that's not a super crazy number, I would consider this a starting point that is very attainable and realistic. And $400 per day is, of course, better than doing nothing per day, which is where most of the people that watch my videos are at. And this video is meant to change that. So the very first thing that you're going to need to do is to set up your account on Facebook so that you're actually able to run ads. So what you're going to want to do if you have an existing Facebook profile is to visit this URL right here, business.facebook.com. Now, when you visit this URL, you're going to see that you are prompted to create what's called a business suite, and you should go ahead and go through with this. You don't need a legal corporation to do this through your Facebook profile. It's just something that anybody with a Facebook profile can go ahead and do. And this business suite pretty much just acts as a hub for everything you'll be using advertising-wise. Now, after you create your business suite, you follow the steps that Facebook asks you, then you'll be brought to kind of like a home page inside of the business suite. It may look a little bit confusing, but don't worry, it's all going to make sense. What I want you to do is then go to the bottom left here. You're going to see this little gear icon with the settings. And when you click that, you'll see a page that looks like this, the screenshot that I took here. And once you're on this page, you want to click on what's called business settings, okay? It's this one right here. And whenever you click on that, it's going to take you to a page that looks just like this. On the left-hand side, you'll see where all of your main assets are going to be. Now, if you've never run Meta Ads before, here's kind of the simple hierarchy on how it works. Your business suite is kind of the hub. It owns everything else inside of it. You're going to see people, accounts, data sources, etc. So the main things that we're going to be focusing on inside of this hub here in the business settings is the ad account, which is right here under accounts. That's where you'll actively be creating and managing your ad campaigns. Pages right above that is what will be displayed as the brand running these ads. And then data sources in here is where you'll be creating your data set, and Pixel, which tracks your store's data. So once you're inside of this page right here, here's what I want you to do in just a few simple steps that'll get us pretty much to a point where we are ready to begin advertising. The first thing is visiting ad accounts right here on the left-hand side. When you click on that, there'll be a blue button that you'll want to click that says create a new ad account, not add ad account. You want to create a new ad account and add a payment method to that. And then after you do that, you want to visit pages, which is above that, and create a new Facebook page for your store. And when you're creating this Facebook page, the profile picture will typically be your logo, and the name of the page will be the name of your store. And after you've created a new ad account, you've gone ahead and created a new page, then what you're gonna do is visit right here where it says data sources, and inside of there you'll see something that says data sets. And when you click on data sets, it'll allow you to create a new data set. And essentially what that'll allow us to do is to track all of the data as we start to run ads. So after you've created these three things, what I want you to do is head back over to your Shopify store and then install this app right here. It's free to install. It's by Meta platform as itself, and you're going to go ahead and connect this. So whenever you connect this to your store, it's then going to prompt you to log in through Facebook to connect your page and your data set. So that way you're going to be able to accurately track the data whenever we start running ads. And as a side note here, whenever you do this, you're using this on Shopify, you will see that the app will ask you to set up Facebook Shop. But you don't need to do this because the Facebook Shop does not allow you to sell digital products on there. So there's no reason in even trying to set it up because it'll just deny you and waste your time. Now, once you've gone ahead and followed the steps through this app on Shopify to connect your pixel through Facebook, then I want you to make sure that everything is set up and good to go. And the way you do that is just by getting the Google Chrome extension, which is free, called the Meta Pixel Helper. So essentially what will happen is then whenever you go onto your website, make sure you disable all ad blockers, then you should be able to see that this pixel is successfully firing. You'll click on the little extension in your browser on Chrome. It'll say, cool, 1 pixel found, and it'll say page view or add to cart or initiate checkout, depending on which stage of your website you're looking at. And if it's green and it looks good, then that means you've done everything correctly and you're ready to move on. You have your ad account ready, you have your page ready, and your data set up and connected to your store. But before we continue, I know for a fact that there are many people watching this right now and saying, what do I do if I'm banned on my Facebook account? And what I'm going to say to you is, don't worry, I have a solution. When I first started running ads back in 2017 on Facebook, I got my personal Facebook account completely restricted because I didn't take the 10 minutes to read the Facebook ad policies before I started running ads. So I ended up running ads that I later found out weren't allowed, which ended up in my account being restricted without being able to appeal it, which at the time could be something that I say, this sucks, I'm never going to be able to run Facebook ads again, or I could find a solution, which is exactly what I did. So to get around this, here's the process I used. I don't prefer to pay for agency accounts or things like that, so this is what I did. Step 1, I texted a friend with an aged Facebook profile. By aged, I just mean that this person has had this Facebook profile for, a minimum of 2 years. I would consider that something that's aged, it's warmed up. Then I said, hey, can I pay you $100 to use the business side of your Facebook account? You won't even notice I'm there. I'm just going to log in through the business side and use it for my business. She said, of course, that's completely fine. She didn't even want money, but I paid her $100 because I just felt like it was right. And then the next thing I did once I got the login from her was I logged in only on a private window. And once I was in there, I then added my own personal phone number there for 2-factor authentication. So even if this individual wants to log into her Facebook, she's going to have to text me for the code. Now, this is just kind of for precautions, for safety, and Facebook likes it. And then I did one new step per day. Once I was logged into the Facebook profile, everything was good to go. I just kind of went one step per day as far as the steps I've just showed you, making the page, the ad account, the business suite, etc. Like, these are things that you don't want to do all at once when you first log into this page because Facebook will flag it and it can become an issue. It's better to be safer than sorry. And once I made all of these assets, I made sure that I added a new payment method to the ad account, one I haven't used on the profile that was previously restricted, so Facebook wouldn't recognize that. And then I got a completely new domain. So I'm running ads for a domain that has never been seen before by Facebook. So basically, it's just like starting with a fresh slate, doing things the right way from the start. Now, there's a couple things that'll happen whenever you first start running ads for anyone, whether you have an existing profile and you follow these steps, or you're using the kind of mitigation strategy I just explained. So the first thing that will probably happen is you'll have a daily limit on how much you can actually spend per day on these ads. So for example, let's say you watch this entire video, you know exactly how to do what you need to do to make sales, and you start running ads and notice, oh, it's only letting me spend up to $20 per day. How do I get around that? Well, it's actually a simple fix. You don't want to make another ad account and start spending money on ads because Facebook will consider that circumventing. Instead, what you want to do is set up around $40 a day in ads to make sure that you'll hit that $20 limit every day, no doubt. And after a week of hitting that limit every single day, give or take, it will raise. And another thing that will happen is that Facebook will bill you in random increments at first, because Facebook wants to see that you can actually pay for your ad spend without your card getting declined. They'll bill you in like $3.77, $4.92, a lot of different transactions at first. And in the past, when I first started, I used a debit card. And now I use a credit card so that it doesn't get declined, and just for protection in general, because a lot of these debit card holders will see these random transactions start coming through and be like, okay, this is red flag, too many random transactions, we're gonna block it. And if your card gets declined, Facebook will disable your ad account. Usually you can get it back, but you just don't want this to happen in the early stages. And kind of on this topic for protection in general, as a new advertiser, you're going to see when you start running ads after you watch this video, you will see your Facebook page will start receiving random messages, maybe emails even, from scammers. And they will pretend to be from Meta and say that, oh, you need to verify this or that and to click this link. And then if you click that link, then they'll hack your Facebook ad account, they'll get inside and start spending money on ads for their own products. So don't click on random links. And this is like an example that I went ahead and found. I got this message to one of my Facebook pages in October of 2023, and it said community support. They had the Meta logo here, but this is a completely scam page. And they said, attention, your page will not be published. And to click this link to appeal this decision, this is a complete scam. If I clicked on this link, then it's a phishing link is what it's called, but they would essentially just get inside of my account and then start spending money on ads for their own products. It's pretty crazy, right? But I've seen people lose lots of money because of that. So just be aware. I want to educate you on this now so it doesn't happen in the future. Now, my goal for you watching this video right now is at some point, I want you to be actively running ads consistently and making profit every day. And if you're watching this video, that's probably your goal too. So just for the future, when you are doing this, I recommend you look into something called Extend. It's basically a service that allows you to connect your major credit card to create virtual credit cards with certain rules. So for example, if I have an Amex Gold business card that I use for ads and it can be billed, $50K at any time, then that's a risk, right? If it gets into the hands of the wrong people, it could just bill me a lot of money. But with Extend, what I can do is connect my Amex account and create what's called a virtual credit card to use on my ad account that only allows it to successfully bill, let's say, up to $1,000 per day. And you can choose whatever amount you want. So that way, in a worst case scenario, if someone did somehow, some way get into my ad account, they can't just turn up the budgets and start spending infinite amounts of money. And it's just a way to better be proactive instead of reactive. Now, once you've gone ahead and followed the steps here in this first part of the video, we can get into step number 2, which is just setting up your columns. Now, when you go into your ad account for the very first time, you're going to notice there's a lot going on. And the worst thing that can happen for any new advertiser on the platform is to start spending money running ads, watching a tutorial like this, and then you get confused and have no idea what's going on at all. So first of all, to turn off and on your ads, it's always from the campaign level. If you're freaking out and you want it to stop spending money, then you turn off on the campaign level. Now, just in general here, let's kind of zoom back into the details. To prevent that from happening, of you kind of freaking out and having this situation, an easy thing to do is just to set up your columns. And columns are just specific pieces of data that we want to see whenever we are running ads. And customizing these columns isn't difficult at all. So what I want you to do is just go and click on columns inside of your ad account, then click on customize columns. And then I want you to exit out of all the existing columns that are on there on the right side, and then type in and select these 14 following columns. So the first one is delivery, the next one is budget, next one amount spent, purchase conversion value, frequency, CPM, click-through rate, cost per link click, add to cart, checkouts initiated, purchases, cost per result, and then purchase ROAS, which stands for return on ad spend. So for example, if I had a 2x ROAS, that would mean I spent $1 on ads and got $2 in sales. And that would mean I have a 2x return on ad spend. And the cool thing about digital products is that technically we only really need over a 1x ROAS to become in profit, while most physical product sellers need around a 2x just to break even. Now, if you have any questions about what any of these indicators mean, you can just let me know in the comments below, but it does explain it well whenever you actually are adding these columns into your own ad account. And as another note here, just whenever you are doing this, you can see how there's these little sub checkboxes inside of these columns, a couple of these. They're unchecked on purpose because if you have all of these checked, which is what it does by default, and you save the column, then it'll just add an extra column for each of these different things. But instead, I uncheck all of these, so that way it all just shows in one column. Simple data. I want to see just the important things without having my mind get all, boggled, confused on what's going on. Now, after you add these 14 columns, you want to click apply, and then you click columns again to then save this as a template. So that way, at any time, you can go into your ad account and use these columns to look at your data. If you don't save it as a template, then they'll disappear the next time you go into your ad account. Now you're almost ready to make sales with paid ads. We just need to create the testing campaign and creatives, which are both things that we focus on heavily inside of DDM. Now, inside of the Digital Dropshipping Mastery free Discord, we have over 24,000 members and over 1,000 paid members, which produce some pretty awesome results. And right now I'm doing a special challenge. So if you're interested in joining DDM, just head over to my Instagram and message me the word YouTube so I know that you're from here and I can give a few of you a special offer. And now step number 3 is setting up your stage 1 campaign. So this right here is my stage 1 winning testing strategy for meta ads. I've been using it for years and it's been the most consistent because it's the most logical. And it really is designed in a way where it takes very little input from us as the advertisers, in a way where we let Facebook do most of the work in either getting us sales or telling us what we need to improve on in order to make sales. So with meta ads and setting up an ad campaign, there are 3 layers. You have your campaign, your ad set, and your ad. Now, your campaign is where you're choosing your objective. Your ad set is where you manage the targeting of who you want your ad to reach. And then your ad is what the viewers of your ad will actually see when you're actively spending money to have your ad shown to people. Now, here is the step-by-step on my testing campaign here for stage 1. The first step is creating a campaign optimizing for purchases. And if campaign budget optimization is turned on by default, turn it off. And after you've done that, click into next, which will take you to the ad set, where then you're going to choose your pixel or data set that you've created and select purchase as the event it's optimizing for. Next thing you're going to do is go to the little time and schedule the ad set for midnight. And after you've done that, I want you to set your daily budget for this ad set at around 1/3 of your profit margin. Now, don't make it strange like $7.33 per day. Just round it up to the nearest whole number. So for example, if I have a $30 margin on my digital product, then I will put my daily budget as $10. So that way I have a couple days for this ad set to optimize over time, instead of just spending all the money and turning me unprofitable within the first day if it didn't make a sale. The next step is add the top 5 countries. These ones right here: USA, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, and United Kingdom. And after that, don't add any detailed targeting at all. And then just click next into the ad level. And then what I want you to do is save this to draft. I know you haven't added in the ad, just click save to draft, refresh your browser, and then I want you to click on the ad set and duplicate it 3 more times. So now you're going to have 4 open ad sets in this draft campaign. And after you have this draft campaign, your ads aren't inside yet, we'll get to that. I want you to then name everything that we've created so far. So you're going to name your campaign, your ad sets, and then your ads. So in the campaign name, I want you to go back and use this template right here. So in product, you would just replace this with whatever the name of your product is. If it's a digital planner, you can just put planner. Then we have this purchase, so we know it's purchase. The date that you're launching this ad, so that way you know when you started this campaign. It's cold, broad, and this is for testing ad creatives. And then once you go into your ad set, you want to name it like this. What I do is I just say open, and then I'll describe what the actual ad is that will be in there. So you can just say ad 1, ad 2, ad 3, ad 4, and then the locations we're targeting. And then once you get to the actual ad level, you will just say ad 1, ad 2, ad 3, ad 4. And you want to make sure that they're all in sync. So now you have this kind of campaign structure set up. You have the ad sets that are open, broad, set up. They're scheduled. They have a daily budget. And it's not published yet because we have to add the ad creatives. But now we know what this structure is going to look like. This is the entire premise of this testing campaign strategy. It's a type of campaign that you're creating now, but will be running for as long as you're running your brand, because you'll always be testing new ad creatives. And here is how I structure it. I have a campaign, and then I have 4 ad sets, because I recommend you starting with 4 at first. You're going to have 4 ad sets here at 1/3 of your profit margin as the daily budget. And under each ad set is just one creative. 1, 1, 1, 1. And why is that? It's because we have our budget set at the ad set level. So if I would have had you duplicate the ads 3 more times instead of the ad sets, then that would mean that you would have 4 ad creatives under 1 ad set. And that $10 per day would be spent unevenly between these 4. But the entire premise of testing ad creatives to make sales when you're first starting out here is to make it logical, non-biased. I know that I'm going to be spending this amount per day on each of the ad creatives, so that then when I get into my rules, I know exactly what's working and what's not, and can make the right decisions moving forward. So what you're really testing here is not the strategy per se, but instead the ad creatives. And I would say your objective is going to be to have 25% of the ad creatives you test be consistently profitable, just at that 1/3 budget rule. So out of 4, I would expect 1 to be profitable consistently with that budget. Now, the only way to fairly test your ad creatives is to use this strategy. There's really no other way, because if you do it any other way, the budget will be spent unevenly and you don't know really what's going on. Now, once you actually start this campaign, you only need to follow 3 simple rules. Rule number 1, if an ad set is profitable and making sales, don't touch it at all. Don't touch the budget, don't turn it off, don't do anything. And number 2, if you have an ad set that's spent more than your break-even point without a sale, turn it off. Your break-even point is your profit margin. So if my margin is $30 and my ad set spends more than $30 without a sale, I'm going to turn it off. And number 3, always replace your losing ad sets with remakes of the winning ones. So if I have these 4 ad sets right here and only one of them is profitable, the 3 other ones spin up to the break-even point, then I would turn those off and then duplicate again 3 more ad sets and just make versions of this ad that is actually making sales and profitable. It's just increasing the likelihood of me having more than one ad creative that is actively making sales and profitable. And stage 2 for getting to this $400 per day mark with your paid ads for your digital product is this type of campaign right here. So you're going to start off with stage 1, but stage 2 is something that I do now and love, but it wasn't around when I actually first started running Facebook ads. And it's actually become now, my most profitable cold campaign in the last couple months. But as kind of a disclaimer here, this strategy only works if you've tested at least 20 ad creatives in the stage 1 campaign and you've made at least 20 sales. And it doesn't matter if all of those 20 creatives worked or didn't work, we're still going to use them. And the stage 2 campaign is called an Advantage Plus campaign. And it's nearly the opposite of the stage 1 campaign. And that's why I recommend that you should be ready to lose money the first couple weeks of running this type of campaign. It almost feels like this type of campaign is one that does a good job at letting you just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. But Facebook is doing all the work and all the sticking to get things to actually work. Because essentially you have one campaign, one ad set with a budget, and then you have all of these ad creatives under that ad set. And then Facebook does all of the work. But the reason I say you should be prepared to lose money is because it's not going to be spending that money evenly, which in return is going to mean that it's going to take longer for each ad creative to spend up to your break-even point and see if it's going to work or not. So here's how the actual setup looks like for stage 2. You're going to 1, create a campaign optimizing for purchases again. You're going to choose Advantage Plus, click next into the ad set, and just input your top 5 countries, input a budget of $100 per day, and then click next into ads. And that's where you're going to add in all of the creatives that you have. It doesn't matter if you have 20 or 50 or 100, you want to add all of them in there. And I will say that right now, sometimes this is a little bit glitchy where you have to first publish an ad and then select that ad creative individually and then click the duplicate button in the menu for you to be able to easily duplicate all the ads that you want to put in there. And this is a campaign that you have to let run and not be picky with, because if I have a $100 per day budget with 20 ad creatives, it's technically spending only $5 per day on each. But of course, it's not going to be spent evenly. The ad spend will be drawn across all of the creatives it thinks are going to perform the best. And here are my rules for this campaign. Number 1 is whenever I test a new creative in stage 1, I always add it into stage 2 as well. And number 2, if an ad in this campaign spends 2x my break-even point without a sale, I'll turn it off. And if you start up this campaign and you follow rule number 2 and literally just end up with no active ads, then that just means you haven't made enough sales for this to work for you yet. Now, step number 5 here, we need to touch on ad creatives, because I've told you the structures for stage 1 and stage 2 that you're going to be following for your campaigns. Now, all we have to do is just plug in our actual ad creatives so that you can launch stage 1 and let me know what your results are. So I'm not going to be telling you to go and download someone else's ad and start pushing it. Those days are over, and we are selling digital products, so it makes it a little bit different. And when adding in your ads on your campaign, there's 3 main things that I focus on: the image or video, the primary text, and the headline. And my headline and primary text are always very simple and to the point. Right now we're in a time where consumers don't need to be clickbaited and forced to hear some crazy marketing tactics. Instead, I'm noticing that consumers are becoming more submissive when you make your marketing more direct as to what we're offering and just using a simple call to action. So from what I'm seeing lately, when you do this, it just creates more of this FOMO effect, that fear of missing out, which in return drives sales, because people think, oh, this person's not begging me to buy. This brand is not begging me to buy. This is kind of interesting. Maybe there actually is some substance of value here. People don't want to just be pitched crazy stuff right now. And in copywriting, there's a method called the RAD method, which stands for require, acquire, desire. So require just means what it takes to get the offer. Acquire is what will you get with the offer, and the desire is the offer and the call to action. So for example, this Geico ad, we could see the require is in just 15 minutes. The acquire, you could save $500 or more on car insurance. And the desire, get a quote. Simple Google ad. So I like this method for digital products because it immediately induces curiosity from the person that's seeing it, because we don't have crazy shipping times or crazy instructions for our products that would make someone confused or take a lot of time. So for example, let's say I'm selling a 1-hour masterclass that teaches how to use artificial intelligence to create faceless TikTok content. I could make a primary text like this. Say, in just 1 hour, which is my require, you could be posting viral faceless content on TikTok. That's the acquire. And then my desire is the call to action here. Get started now, and then likethevideo.com. And then my headline would just be something simple, like make viral faceless content. This can't be super long because it won't fit into the ad. Now, a lot of people ask me too, when they're setting up in the ad level for Facebook ads, what call to action do I use? Get offer, learn more, shop now. Well, what's worked the best for me with digital products is just simple. Learn more, learn more. It's default, easy, and it's worked the best for me. Now, what about the actual image or video we're gonna be using in ad creative? So let's get into it, because both of them have their value and you should absolutely be testing both. Now, image ads are the type of ads that are going to be the easiest to make, and it's gonna have the most direct to the point marketing. So let me show you an example here. I went and just found a couple ads that are active right now. People are spending money on to sell their digital products through their anonymous store. So this is one right here for a digital planner. And when I zoom in here, you can just see that they're using an image that just has a mock-up of the digital product. And then they have some different text on here that, just inquires into what the actual product is and what their offer is. And that's just very direct to the point. It's not clickbait. Someone's going to see this. They're going to know exactly what the product is. So that means that the odds of them actually buying once they make it to the product page are much higher as to if they just clickbaited this and got a bunch of traffic to their website. I don't know about you, but I would much rather have less traffic and more sales than more traffic and less sales, right? So another example here, number 2, is for this right here. This is like a travel agent organizer. It's really just a custom spreadsheet that they've angled now specifically for travel agents. So they have a specific audience they're marketing to, and they've created these mock-ups here of this spreadsheet. You can see the little Google Sheets thing here. They've made it look nice. It said a Google Sheets document every travel agent must have. Here they have their bullet points of what the actual product is, what it does. And then number 3 here, another different one, is My Student Hub. So this is another version of a digital planner, which is catered towards students. So if you have too much to study, you don't know where to start, right? We got you covered. That's what this product is. So you can see, honestly, like all 3 of these that I showed you are, pretty similar, to be honest. They're just marketing towards specific audience, but the focus is on the ad creatives themselves. You could do this for an ebook, a video course, a planner, Google Sheet. Any digital product you can make a mock-up of, focus on the benefits, and that is a solid image ad. There are a lot of people doing this. Now, the way that I found these ads is through the Meta Ads library. Anybody can use this for free. I went to the Meta Ads library, selected United States, and searched planner, ebook, video course, instant download, these different keywords, toggled the filter to active ads, and then I scroll through and find different brands selling different digital products. And now video ads. Video ads are a type of ad that will connect more with the viewer, which can lead to more conversions. Now, for digital products, the video ads you'll be using are either UGC testimonials of your product or a voiceover on B-roll footage that hits the pain points and converts. Now, UGC testimonials are great. UGC just stands for user-generated content, and that's where you hire a creator that ideally fits your customer demographic from a place like Billo. So let's say my ideal customer is a student who's around 20 years old, in college, and female, okay? I could go over to Billo, find someone with those demographics, and pay them pretty much to go through my product, film a 30-second testimonial, and say a call to action. And then I could use this video for my ads, and this type of ad is going to perform best for retargeting ads. And now for scripting the cold video ads, the other type, I would say the VAD method is best. So it stands for verb, which means action accomplished, application, which is the applied benefit, and then differentiator, which stands like without needing. So for an example, this image got blurred a bit, but we could see here, create immersive virtual hybrid and in-person event experiences for your audience, which is the verb, then for your audience is the application, and then the differentiator, no matter where they are. So this is a type of copywriting where you're starting the ad instead of with a pain point, with their desired outcome. Now, the reason I like this is because when people are watching an ad, they know it's an ad. So it's our job to capture their attention and lead them to our offer. So for example, using the same copywriting method, a good hook could be this. Here's how to create engaging viral videos for TikTok without even showing your face once. And that's using the VOD method. And now this just leads into wherever I want it to go, which in this case would be something like this. In the parentheses, I have what the actual video would look like just in my head. You can kind of take it for a grain of salt and go from there. But what I'm imagining is a screen recording of making a TikTok post that's a little blurred and has text on top of this right here, when I just put the hook. Then I would introduce the offer. This is the Faceless Content Masterclass, and in only 1 hour, you'll know exactly how to do this. So here we're introducing the offer. Remember, people know this is an ad, so we don't have to hide the offer. And I'm imagining on this point of the video, it's zooming in on a mock-up of the product with the masterclass kind of playing in the background blurred. Then I would provide social proof. We just grew a brand new account to over 10,000 followers within 1 month using this strategy. Pop up the results. If you're gonna make a claim, it's best to show the proof behind it, the actual results behind it working. It's just gonna increase conversions. Then a call to action. Just click the link around this ad and you'll see exactly what's inside this special offer. And instead of just telling them, you could show them the website, do a screen recording inside of this video ad. So basically each of these different points is a scene, and you'll be using correlating overlay footage that shows the viewers what's going on. And at the same time, you want to use a voiceover. 11 Labs allows for you to create voiceovers using any type of voice you want. There's so many options on there. You'll absolutely find one that fits the emotion that you're trying to convey. If you want it to be a super exciting voice, let's go, you can find that. If you want it to be a sad lady who doesn't know what's going on doing the script, then you could find that and make a badass video ad that you could start running for your digital product to make sales now. And if you're a personal brand watching this video and making ads, in my experience for personal brands, you get way better results using simple selfie video footage instead of a super fancy camera edited scene. And if this video gets 500 likes, I will make the next video showing you how to find winning digital products to sell. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a big like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.